What's up guys? So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 9 best dividend stocks that pay me $1,000 every single month. And the best part about this is that it's passive income, which means that I don't have to do anything at all to make this money. Now imagine how nice life would be if you had an extra $1,000 every single month that you could actually use to pay off your bills. Or imagine being able to go on vacation 4 times a year and not have to worry about how much it's going to cost because your dividend stocks pay for it. And of course, I want to put you guys on, and so I'm going to first share the 9 dividend stocks that I currently own, and then after that I'm going to talk about the exact strategy that I follow that took me from making $0 a month in dividends to now $1,000 a month in dividends. So you can follow my exact strategy and hopefully replicate it for yourself.
Knowledge.
Alright, so let's get right into it, and the first thing I just want to talk about is what exactly are dividend stocks? So it's basically investing in a company that pays you a percentage every single year. For example, if you buy 1 share of Kraft Heinz for $43 and the dividend is 3.64%, you are going to get paid 3.64% of whatever you invested in the company every single year. So this dividend payment is basically just free money. Alright, so now that you know what a dividend stock is, we're going to be talking about the 9 different dividend stocks that I currently own. And later on, we're going to talk about how much money I have in these companies and how much money you should also be investing. So the first dividend stock that I own, which is actually one of my favorites, is Coca-Cola. Now this isn't my favorite company just because I like the drink and the cute polar bears, but because this company has increased its dividends for the last 59 consecutive years. And at this moment, Coca-Cola pays a 3% dividend, which is actually really good. The company has also had decent growth. It's up 22% in the past 5 years. And I like the reliability and just knowing that this company is probably never going to cut their dividend. And I feel really safe holding this company because it's basically dominated the whole beverage industry, and one of the greatest investors of all time, Warren Buffett, is invested in Coca-Cola, so I mean, he must know something that we don't. So I am going to continue to add money in this every month, and I do think it is a great investment. Now the next dividend stock I own is Ryokan, and this is actually a real estate investment trust. And it's also known as a REIT, and REITs are known for paying a really good dividend, so it's a great way to make passive income. So if you're someone that wants to invest in real estate, but you don't actually want to go out there and buy a house, this is a great alternative. And at this moment, it pays a 4.5% dividend, which honestly is really good. So I definitely am going to continue to add to this position. Now the next stock I have is Johnson & Johnson. They've been in the game for over 130 years, and they are one of the largest healthcare companies. And the products they sell are always going to be in demand, like Band-Aids, Johnson's baby products, and also medications. And the best part is this company has grown its dividend for the last 59 consecutive years, and so it is really reliable. So if you want exposure to the healthcare industry, this is definitely a good stock to look into. Now the next dividend stock I have is Enbridge, which I really like. And this company focuses on transportation of crude oil and liquid hydrocarbons, and so basically this is something we're always going to need. And the best part is it pays a 7% dividend, and it has paid this for over 66 years. And it also gradually increases its dividend, so in my opinion, this is a solid company to hold long term if you like dividends, so I would definitely take a look into it. Now the next dividend stocks I own are particularly bank stocks. So I have TD Bank, Royal Bank of Canada, Bank of Nova Scotia, Bank of Montreal, and Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. So these are actually Canadian bank stocks, and obviously it doesn't matter where you live in the world, you could still buy these stocks. And actually, a lot of people who live in the US would rather buy Canadian bank stocks for so many reasons. So the first thing is that Canadian banks actually increase their dividends every year, and also they have been paying their dividends for over 100 years, and most of them pay a dividend between 3% and 5%. So I'll be holding these bank stocks forever because I love the dividend. So now that we've talked about all the dividend stocks that I own, I do want to share with you guys the best way you can start buying dividend stocks, because there's so many ways to do it, but there is particularly a way that I like to follow. So I would always use a commission-free broker that has the option to do drip. And this basically just means whenever you receive a dividend payment, instead of getting that money in cash, you actually get it reinvested back into the stock. And I have a brokerage option that is free and also offers drip, and I have it linked in the description of the video. So you can click on the link in the description where it says free stock, and there you can just create your account, and on top of it being free and offering drip, you're also going to get a free stock worth up to $250. And so once your account is created, you'll be able to search up any stock that you want to buy. So for example, I can just search up Coca-Cola, and then once I find it, I just have to click on buy, and then that's basically it. You can buy the stock, and now you're going to be a little owner of Coca-Cola. And I know there's going to be so many beginners watching this video who just want extra support and also just want someone to walk them through the exact step-by-step process and just kind of guide them. And so if that's what you're looking for, I also do do have a stock market course linked in the description of the video. I made it really affordable, so if you want to check that out, you can do that in the link. Alright, so now let's move on to the next step, and let's say now you know what dividend stocks you want to invest in, or maybe you have some in mind, but of course now you don't actually know how you're going to make $1,000 a month from dividends, so we're going to go over that right now. And of course, I have to be honest with you guys and set the expectation, so you're going to need around $250,000 invested in order to actually make $1,000 a month from dividends. I know that sounds like a crazy amount of money, but don't worry because I have a plan that you can follow step by step, and basically this plan is going to get you to that $250,000 in the fastest way possible. Now this plan is going to have 3 steps, and the very first step is you have to set aside a certain amount of money every single month, and you're going to invest that money in dividend stocks. And I can't tell you how much money to set aside because it really depends on you and how much you can afford. I would say a majority of people can set aside maybe $50 to $300 every month. But if you can do more than that amount, it's even better because the more money you have, the faster you're going to get there. And the big thing with this is you have to be very consistent. So let's say you want to put $200 every month in dividend stocks, then you have to stick to that plan. You should not miss any month. Now the second step, which is really important, especially in the beginning, is reinvesting every single dividend you get paid back into the stock. And I already talked to you guys about DRIP, which means that your dividend payments are going to be automatically invested back into the stock. But let's just say you don't actually have DRIP turned on. That's okay because you can just go ahead and invest that money back into the stock yourself. So unfortunately, in the beginning, you're not going to be able to enjoy those cash payments because everything is just going to be reinvested again. For example, if you had $2,000 invested in Inbridge, that means every year you get paid $140 in dividends, but that money goes straight back into Inbridge stock. And so on top of following these 2 steps, you get a bonus, of course, and the stock price usually does go up with time as long as you invest in a good company. So if we factor in the 3 steps I talked about, you will quickly notice that your investment is compounding at a consistent rate. So now that we got that out of the way, I do want to go over something that I think will make your dividend investing process a lot easier. So I have to admit, it's going to take a while to go from $0 to $1,000 in dividends. So instead of worrying about that, I would just focus on going from 0 to 100 and then 100 to 200 and so on. That way you're taking baby steps and it feels a lot easier. And I remember when I first started investing in dividend stocks, it took me a little bit of time to finally hit $100 a month. But once you do, I promise it is worth it because passive income is so nice to have. Like an extra $100 a month can do a lot for some people. You can pay your phone bill, it can pay some other bills, so it is 100% worth it. And I know there's going to be a lot of people watching this wondering how much money I actually have invested in dividend stocks. So at this moment, I have a little over $250,000. And I already shared my dividend stocks with you, but the ones I have most of my money in are Inbridge and Bank of Nova Scotia. And the main reason for this is because I've been holding them for a very long time, and I also like the dividend payment with Inbridge. It's 7%, which honestly is a lot. And there is something I want to talk about because I know a lot of people are probably wondering, how'd you get $250,000 so fast? But if you do watch my channel, you probably already know how, but I will explain it. So I obviously did follow the plan that I already talked to you guys about, but I think the main reason I was able to hit $250,000 was because I invested a lot of money every month into the stocks. I think I invested about $5,000 every single month. And that $5,000 that I invested in the stock market every month came mainly from my business income. And we can't also forget that in the last year, the stock market crashed. And so when that did happen, I took advantage and I bought so much. And so because of that, I basically doubled my investments. So I guess you could say I was able to hit $250,000 with some luck and having a lot of money. Now, please don't get discouraged by this because everyone is different. Some people can invest $20 a month. Some people can invest $100 a month. It does not matter what amount you can invest. Just make sure you start investing because eventually in the future, a couple years from now, you're going to be very grateful when you start making passive income and you can start paying off your bills and other expenses. And here's a little life hack. If you're impatient just like me and you want to get to $250,000 faster, why not try starting a business or some sort of side hustle that makes you a lot of money and then use that money to invest back into your dividend stocks. And you might be thinking, what side hustle or business should I start? Well, don't worry, I got you covered. I'm going to link 2 videos here that you can check out. But that's all for this video and I'll see you guys in my next one.